evening and welcome to the Herzog Stadium on the campus of Lee Summit High School. Tonight's Hy-Vee High School game of the week, Suburban Gold and Class 6 District 6 action, as you've got undefeated Lee Summit North making the short trip over to Lee Summit. The Tigers come in at 7-1. Hi everybody, Kevin White, Dana Hughes, Les Norman on the Hy-Vee High School game of the week. Final regular season game. Well, this game, a lot on the line. The conference and the #1 seed in the district and a city rivalry game. Lee Summit North, we knew would be here. The sleeper team's been Lee Summit. Do they have more surprises tonight?
Well, they're expecting to have some surprises tonight. They're on their home field. It's senior night, the rivalry you've spoken about, and the fact that you have an undefeated team coming in playing against a one-loss team. Inner City, the rival is reignited. It's going to be exciting.
Time now for the Hy-Vee player profile. Quade Chapman is the top rusher for the Broncos.
Well, Quade Chapman, when you think about his attributes, what he brings to the table, quickness, speed, 13 touchdowns on the season. He's done a phenomenal job this year. That's why they are where they are.
And the quarterback for the Tigers, Braden Lehman's put up huge numbers this year.
Well, Lehman has done an outstanding job as well. The most important position on the field is quarterback. Lee Summit needs him to have a big night.
Broncos and Tigers in the final regular season game. It's the Hy-Vee High School game of the week, and we're back with the opening kickoff right after this. Coin toss going on at the 50-yard line. Let's take a listen with James Funk as your referee tonight.
Your options to the second half: kick the ball, receive the ball, or defend the goal. Defer to the second half. Stay right there. You guys are either going to receive or kick. Which way you want to receive? You want to receive? You're going to receive. Way you want to kick from? You want to kick that direction? Put you back over there. White, come around over here. Stop right there, one. All right, guys, come here. Shake it up and go get them.
So Lee Summit won the coin toss, deferred their option to the second half, so the Broncos will get it, and their head coach is Jason Rogers. In his first year, took over for Isaiah Mosey's dad. Jamar Mosey is now a coach at Nebraska. Isaiah will follow him to Lincoln. And Jason, he's been at Lee Summit North since 2015. His team 8-0. He's been an OC, a DC, offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator. He left at 2020 and then came back and coached linebackers in 2022. And there's the new head coach of the Lee Summit Tigers. Highly successful Colorado coach at Pine Creek, Colorado for 19 years, won 4 state titles. And he is in his first year. Eric Thomas went back to his hometown team of Jeff City, and Coach Miller takes over. His team's 7-1 as we send it down to Les Norman.
Hey guys, it doesn't get any better than this. You guys said it in the open. Lee Summit North, 8 wins in a row, 8 wins in a row on the road. Talked with Jason Rogers before the game. He said the key is to win that line of scrimmage, and no, he calls them selfish penalties, the personal fouls. They've got to get rid of that. And now we're in a situation with Lee Summit where I talked with Coach Todd Miller. He said the same thing. We got to win that line of scrimmage. We have to stop their running game.
Tyree sends a runner down the field, and trouble for the Broncos. And the ball goes out at saying inside the 5-yard line, so it'll be the Broncos backed up. This ball was a squib kick, and
yeah, I don't think he touched that, Kevin. If he didn't touch it, he could have allowed that to go out of bounds, and they would have gotten more favorable field position there, but maybe got a little freaked out there, went back, secured it as it went out of bounds, but they're going to have their backs to the goal line here. Got 97 yards to try to drive the field on this opening drop.
That was Conaway on the return. As you take a look at Makai Mitchell and his passing numbers on the year. Also a very good runner of the football. And they'll keep it on the ground. Nice run out near the 9-yard line. That was Quade Chapman, who we talked about in the open. He is their leading rusher. You'll also see Isaiah Mosey in a Wildcat. You'll also see Bryce Thompson run the football, but Quade has been their man. 6 100-yard games, and he averages 137 yards per game rushing. And Lee
See
Summit's
his numbers there.
defense
Just
kind of
the-
struggled stopping the run this year.
Yeah, 8.5 yards per carry for Quaid. Got some big young men at the point of attack at that offensive line of scrimmage, and this is what Lee Summit, the Tigers, are going to have to do to be successful tonight. Rally tackle around Quaid and the ball carrier has got to be quicker. They don't have the size to be able to compete against such the girthy offensive line of the Broncos, so the speed is going to be optimum for the Tigers, as we saw there with a big play by Kier Lewis.
Yeah, he's their top defensive lineman. They play a 4-2-5. Jason Wright is their D coordinator. There's a loss of 2. Now 3rd down and 7 back to the 8-yard line. First drive of the game. Empty set. Mitchell throws to the outside, and it's caught. But the receiver, Quay Chapman, is taken down immediately, as that was Cameron Steele coming up and flying up from the secondary, making the stop, and it's 4th down.
Yeah, zone coverage in the back end allows the corner to be able to see what's happening in front of him and then closes that gap so quickly, secures the tackle right there to force 4th down. That's a great, great job by the defense of the Tigers on this opening drive.
Punting unit coming in for the Broncos. And the punt away by Mitchell is a short punt. It'll just trickle across the 41-yard line. Only 34 yards on the punt, no return, but a short field now for Lee Summit. A team that I don't think a lot of people had high expectations. They lost their coach. They had some talent coming back, but not really a lot. And Coach Miller comes in, and this team is 7-1. And one of the reasons right there, Danon, is their quarterback has been very good this year.
Yeah, that's the most important position on the field. I mentioned that in the open, and Lehman has really done a fine job. And give head coach Todd Miller credit for opening the door for these guys to buy into his philosophy, want to play for him. And he even mentioned, when I talked to him before the game, he said there's some guys that wind up leaving the team, leaving the program, because they just didn't want to buy into his philosophy and what he wanted to do, and it's worked so well. I mean, Kevin, you've been around high school football for a very long time. Have you seen 2 first-year head coaches have this type of success like we've seen between Lee Summit North and Lee Summit? I haven't.
No, it's pretty rare as we get our first whistle. Now they did not throw a flag, and they'll run a wildcat with Feeney. Karsten Feeney is their top wide receiver. Now he does rush the football occasionally. He's getting about 8.5 yards per carry, but he is their leading receiver as far as yards, and he's a 4-sport athlete. And now Lehman comes on the field. So this is a unique look. Lehman, good football IQ, will distribute the ball. So pulling out the stops here in the final regular season game. Running a little wildcat early on for a 2-yard gain.
I don't mind that call. You're trying to establish the mindset and the tempo here.
Quick pass, and it's caught. Hatfield. Now you have to remember, if you follow Lee Summit, there's 2 Hatfields. This is Peyton Hatfield, but you're going to see Preston run the football. But how do you differentiate these guys besides their jersey numbers?
Well, you can't differentiate tonight unless you look at the tattoos on their arm. One guy has a tattoo on his left arm, the other one on the right arm, but both guys are the heart and soul of this team, playmakers. Does a nice job there to get the first down.
45 catches now for Peyton, and that was a first down catch. He leads the team in total catches. Feeney leads the team in yardage as a wide receiver. Lehman, play action, going deep, down the field for Feeney. He's kind of held up, flagged down in the end zone.
Yeah, Karsten Feeney runs a post route. This ball held up in the air a pretty darn long time. Tough for the defensive back to kind of hold off from getting handsy down the field, but loving the design plays to open the game up for Todd Miller and the Lee Summit Tigers.
First down.
Pass interference will advance the ball inside the red zone. As you can see right here, he's running a post, has to adjust it to the corner side. Corner grabs him around the waist just a bit there, impedes his progress, an opportunity to catch the pass.
1st and 10 from the 16, and the ball is loose. And it's covered up by Lee Summit. So Hatfield coughed it up, but his teammate Gourdet right there to save the day.
Yeah, little high snap and handoff. You can see the ball before that knee touches the ground. It was let loose, and that's right place, right time for Gourdet.
Yep, another running play, not much doing. Guys wearing the pink gloves, pink sweatbands, obviously about cancer awareness. Student section, pink out as well. As we're winding down October, finally got some rain in October last night.
Yeah.
It's kind of a chilly night. Temperatures in the upper
football.
50s, yeah.
This is football weather right here. Gotta love it.
Now 3rd down and 6. First drive for Lee Summit after they got the short field. Lehman firing, and it's caught. This is Feeney gonna fight his way. And let's see, they're gonna spot him near the 6-yard line. I think they're gonna be a little bit short here. Feeney is a big athletic kid, 6'2", $190.
Yeah, just gonna run a hitch route on the outside. Nice job of knowing exactly where to get to. Maybe a little bit of a favorable spot there. Didn't look like the ball got to that 6-yard line, but he got just enough to get the first down and extend this drive. As you mentioned, Feeney, hard-nosed kid, 6'2", 190-pound junior, gets the job done now.
1st and goal, Lee Summit, as they'll have it at the 6-yard line. This is a spread offense, and we've got a whistle and a penalty flag down.
Timeout.
Nope, we've got a timeout instead. So
looked like Coach Miller saw that his team wasn't on the same page, didn't want to risk having a negative play and moving back 5 yards. Good, smart penalty right there. I mean, a smart timeout to take. They want to put 7 on the board here.
Les, what do you got?
Well, it's interesting that when I talked to Jason Rogers before the game, he talked about we have to keep our offense on the field because their offense, their line is big, and they have a tendency to be able to control that line, just like Lee Summit North can, but you can't control the line on offense if your defense is on the field a lot. And so right now, you can see that Lee Summit High School is making a really good push on the line and controlling that defense.
And that's a great point, Les. These offenses know that their strength is keeping the opposite offense on the sideline, and the big guys in the trenches, that's where all the bread is buttered right there, is to have guys that will move other human beings and keep the run game alive, and for Lee Summit, probably keep the clock running as well.
There you just saw the standings for the district. A slant is caught, touchdown, Karsten Feeney from Braden Lehman, and the Tigers strike first, 6-yard slant route to their leading receiver and his 13th receiving touchdown of the year.
Excellent job by Todd Miller and his staff, mixing up run and play here, Kevin. A run and pass, I should say. In a down and distance, 1st and goal, everyone assuming it's going to be a run. They open it up with a pass, a nice slant route, easy throw and catch for the first score of the night.
Tyree hits the PAT. Let's go back to the touchdown.
Yeah, you can see just the play action in the middle, holds the linebackers enough to leave the cornerback on an island against Feeney. We've seen his exploits multiple times in this first drive. He gets the job done there to cap it off.
Well, they got the short field on the short punt. As you take a look at the 41-yard drive, Lehman to Feeney, touchdown pass. And if you're Lee Summit and you're the underdog, this is how you want to start this football game tonight.
Well, let's not forget, just because we see the 7 plays, 41 yards, remember, special teams has been a factor. The kick inside the 5-yard line to open the game for the Tigers, and then forcing the short punt, having the short side of the field to go, 40-plus yards, gets the job done.
Tyree to kick it back. JoJo Robinson, one of the deep men. This will end up going to one of the shorter guys. And they'll run it across the 35-yard line. That was Vance, one of their wide receivers. And now the offense coming out. Jason Jones is their offensive coordinator. This team 8-0, 5-0 in the league. And they have really dominated this series. Last year, they went 2-0 against the Lee Summit Tigers, but from 2017 to 2023, it's all about the Broncos. So this has been a one-sided series favoring the Broncos in recent years. Now more whistles prior to the snap.
Still so competitive here in Lee Summit. I know Blue Valley has some really strong athletic programs in totality, but when you consider what we see.
False start. Offense. First down.
What we see with Lee Summit West, the history there, Lee Summit North and Lee Summit, always competitive between these three schools. Fun to see.
Penalties have decreased under Coach Rogers. First 4 games, they had over 50 penalties. Last 4, only 30. So penalty numbers going down as they go with a jet sweep to their star wide receiver, Mosey, and he's bottled up. Alexopoulos, the leading tackler, the Mike linebacker, was not fooled at all. And now it's going to be 2nd down and a country mile, 2nd and 16.
And there's a flag down in the defensive backfield. Maybe a little extra aggressive blocking by the Broncos wide receiver with a negative play. This is exactly what the Tigers wanted to start this game. They wanted to set the tone. The flag came in a little bit late to try to quash some of the extracurriculars early in this game.
Dead ball, personal foul, offense. Dead ball, personal foul, defense. They offset. The down counts.
Well, this is a rivalry. Everybody knows everybody here, Dane, and you're going to have a little bit of
Yeah, and I like that they had offset penalties, because now you're sending a message to each sideline that you're not going to go for the extra shenanigans and just want to have clean football.
Still, it's going to be 2nd down and long. Looks like they're saying 2nd down and 17 now. After the tackle for a loss by Nathan Alexopoulos, one of the seniors honored tonight on a senior night. He was their leading tackler last year. He's their leading tackler now. Broncos scrimmaging behind the stakes. Mitchell all day to throw. Goes deep down the sidelines and wide to Mosey, incomplete. The coverage was pretty good there. There's not a lot of room or a window to throw that ball to Mosey.
Yeah, Mason Canaan did a nice job down the sideline of using the sideline as the 12th defender, Kevin. Exactly what you want to teach any defensive player. Squeeze the receiver to the sideline, make it as much of a difficult throw by the quarterback as possible.
I asked if they were going to shadow Mosey tonight, and the Lee Summit coaches said no, we will just give him different looks. That was a linebacker on him, covering him that time. Play action, Mitchell in trouble, now going to take off. This is where he's dangerous. Here's the speed of Mitchell across midfield, and that'll be a 1st down. Mitchell is a very good runner. I think he's an underrated runner as he takes off, and you see the immediate speed he gets up to.
Oh, and now they're trying to line up with a little tempo offense to catch the Tigers off guard, but that athleticism, pretty clear there.
Here's Chapman as he runs it down just inside the 40-yard line. And now flags flying as tempers flaring in this city rivalry game.
Well, when we spoke with Jason Taylor, he mentioned one of the first comments was talking about how his goal this entire season has been to help his team be more disciplined, keep their emotions intact. But this rivalry can bring things out of you. We got the Raiders playing the Chiefs this weekend too, Kevin. The rivalry can bring out some ugliness,
Offense.
some competitiveness as well.
Let's take a look at the 22-yard run by the quarterback on a 3rd down and a country mile.
Yeah, you see the pressure at the top of the screen, and he recognizes it immediately. It's a broken play, but there's the athleticism from your quarterback getting the job done. A chunk of yardage to get another 1st down.
And here's the penalty of the. Yeah, we got a holding penalty. Now this is the same run of 22 yards, but there was a holding penalty on the last play, and that moves him back. So it'll be a 1st down and 20 as we get a timeout for the Broncos.
Yeah, it looked like the Broncos only had 10 men on the field, so miscommunication a factor right now. The coaches not happy with how they started the game. Everyone's got to get on the same page. I think this is a perfectly timed timeout, Kevin. Get everybody relaxed. Woosah in there. Get a little relaxing, and let's play football, because I think the guys are a little bit anxious right now, getting outside themselves.
Woosah.
You don't woosah? You don't know about the woosah?
I don't see it on a sideline, college, high school, or professional, but
I didn't woosah back then either.
Yeah, all right. Maybe in a yoga studio or something?
Yoga.
Yeah, all right. Well, yeah, this team, he said, I've got to keep my guys' emotions in check here, and they haven't. They've been a little too over the top, talking about the Broncos.
Look at when you talk about head coach Todd Miller and what he wants to do against Mosey.
Dead ball. False start. Offense. Replay 1.
That's the 2nd false start penalty that we've seen prior to shifts and motion. So what we're seeing is guys not getting set before the motion goes in motion. So the wide receivers going in motion behind the quarterback, they're going across the line, the backfield. Guys have to get set first before you start the motion. That's something that Coach Rodgers is going to have to address.
1st and 25 now with the penalty yardage. And now the snap is high, and Mitchell just going to have to do what he can, but he's such a good runner. Look at this run out to the 49-yard line, 11 yards on the play. Now this kid had over 200 yards rushing in their win on the road at Blue Springs South, so he can really take off. He averages over 7 yards per carry.
That's a component that you just can't coach. Improv, and that's what you want to see from your quarterback. He has great hands, takes the errant snap, makes something out of nothing there, keeps driving those legs, gets a chunk back. Now just 2nd and 14.
So you were way behind the sticks. Now you're somewhat behind the sticks here. Still 2nd down and 14 near midfield. Kai Mitchell going to go deep down the sidelines. And Mosey with the catch. Is he inbounds? Yes, he is. Inside the 15 near the 13-yard line. What a catch by Mosey as he tight-roped the sideline for 39 yards and a 1st down.
Yeah, just being more physical than the defensive back Cameron Steele there, man-to-man coverage.
And they run it with their other running back, the sophomore Thompson, but let's go back to the pass down the sidelines.
Yeah, I talked prior to one of the penalties, Kevin.
Before the snap.
And noticed, and you see he gets the right foot in.
Wow.
Actually even has the presence of mind and body control to get both feet in. You don't need it at the high school level, but you can see the physicality there, gets that right foot inbounds, knows exactly where he is on the field, just makes a big play.
Headed to Nebraska is Mosey. We've seen him with injuries this year. He had a foot injury earlier. Then against Blue Springs South, he injured his back, but he is one of the top wide receivers in the state of Missouri. In Kansas City as we check in with Les.
Thanks, Kevin. Jason Rodgers told me earlier that against the Blue Springs South game where it was a tough game. Mekhi Mitchell was the guy who almost single-handedly saves them because they were having penalties, but he would have those big chunk plays and get out of it, and that's what we're seeing right here. Just when you think you push him back, here they come storming back.
So it'll be 1st and 10 after the timeout. Ball at the 13. Broncos trailing by a touchdown and a PAT. Now Mitchell throwing it to the wide open receiver. That's Mosey in the back of the end zone. Orange gloves, just had to wait for that ball. And it goes for a 13-yard touchdown pass. Hard to lose Isaiah Mosey, but the Tigers did that time as he was wide open. And he records another receiving touchdown on the year.
Yeah, this play takes such a long time to develop. Give a lot of credit to the offensive line and Mekhi Mitchell for buying time with pressure in his face to find the wide open receiver for the score. Mosey doing damage on this drive.
Well, he had 4 TD catches last week, starting off good here as this kick up and good by Noah Kent. Ball game tied at 7 apiece now.
Yeah, you can see pressure in his face. He's got a couple of guys that are a little bit scared to rush him with full speed. Tries to contain him in the pocket. He has the presence of mind to find Mosey on the wide side of the field.
And it's 14 touchdown passes to 4 INTs now for Mitchell.
See 7 plays, 63 yards, had a couple of negative plays mixed in there, but showing their mental fortitude to be able to bounce back from that for the 13-yard touchdown reception to Isaiah Mosey.
Well, this team overcomes the penalties and able to drive down and score as Logan Houchin, the junior kicker, does the kickoff duties. He of the super long hair. And this will be returned from the 7-yard line. Hatfield with the return. Hatfield with a nice return as he's across the 40 to the 41-yard line. That'll be a 34-yard return. And a nifty spin move.
You see protecting the football in traffic, but not losing any athleticism as well. It's a great job, a great return. Just when you lose some of the momentum, special teams, specifically kickoff return, can gain a lot of it back.
Well, a lot of people thought this might be a shootout tonight. And now the ball is in your court, Lee Summit. You have to respond. The Broncos able to overcome the penalties, get the tying score. Here's Lehman's chance on the field. Good field position from the 41-yard line. Turns and throws, and they go hook and lateral, and it's the speedster, Preston Hatfield. He'll take it the distance. Touchdown, Lee Summit, a gadget play. And the fans can't believe it. 59 yards. Normally that play, Danon Hughes, is reserved for end of the quarters, end of the half, end of the ball game. Coach Miller says, let's break it out here late first quarter and score. Extra point, up and good.
How about that, Kevin? Head coach Todd Miller and his Tiger staff bringing out all the stops against their crosstown rival. Watching, they call it the hook and ladder. I say it's a hook and lateral, but it's perfectly timed. And then the speed of Hatfield, no way he's going to be caught down his sideline. Talk about punch, counter punch, 2 heavyweight fighters going at it right now, and the Tigers put another 7 on the board.
And Brock Gourdet will get the assist. He made the catch, and Hatfield takes it the distance. Preston Hatfield now with 13 touchdowns on the year as the fans had to remove the shades to get a second look.
Nice. This is exciting high school football at its best. two juggernauts going at it.
Let me give you a tip.
He's bringing out all the stops, showing athleticism, speed in the open field. Now, can the Broncos counterpunch here, down 7?
Kick away by Tyree. This will be fielded at the 25-yard line, and it's fielded by Ray again. Nope, check that. That's Vance, the wide receiver, and he will take it 15 yards to the 40-yard line. So now it's in the court of the Broncos of Lee Summit North. They average 37 points per game. Lee Summit, 41 points per game. So now it's Makai Mitchell and the Bronco offense out on the field after Mosey caught their first touchdown of the year. And now just a quarterback draw with Mitchell. And he's not able to get away. I think it was Dawson that kind of slowed him up. He was going to try to take off. Yeah, Ford made the stop, but I think with the defensive lineman kind of slowed his path, and Alexopoulos able to make the stop on the play as we've got an injury timeout. One of the offensive linemen, the center, and that's Leo, the 300-pound center, down for the Broncos.
You mentioned Alexopoulos doing a nice job right there. His responsibility is the quarterback. He attacks the line of scrimmage, doesn't give him enough space to maneuver, as we've seen in this game so far. Watch him attack the line of scrimmage right there. Just gets enough of them to slow him down.
Yeah, he's right there in the mix, and
yeah, just
looked like maybe a lower leg injury there.
Hopefully it's not too serious.
Hyperextension type situation there.
Yeah, it's a tough break.
Trainer and head coach out taking a look at the center for the Broncos. Guy that worked really hard this summer. They say he's probably their most improved offensive lineman. And he's a key guy, especially when you have a center snap coming with a backup coming into the ball game.
He seems to be in some pain down there on the turf. They're going to try to help him up and maybe help him off the field there. Good to see that he's able to get up on his own accord. But he is in pain right there. Can't put much weight on that right leg.
So he will go off under his own power, but gingerly, as you can see. Now let's see who the backup center is.
And with the shotgun formation that the Broncos like to employ, you always got to be concerned about a new center coming into the game and having that responsibility.
Looks like Arion Walker is number 62 in as a backup center. Here's Mitchell's pass to the side, broken up. How about Cam Steele breaking on the route? He was the guy that got burned down the field on the long pass, but this time he's able to get in the passing lane and knock it away incomplete.
Yeah, it looks like Steele has has the mindset that he wants to challenge Mosey to have to run past him. Every coverage that I've seen with Steele on Mosey, he's been in the side pocket. Now Mosey has made a couple of plays, but these two guys are going to be locked up like two bulls all evening.
3rd down and 9. Mitchell all day to throw, going down the sideline again, and Mosey makes the catch again. Mosey and Steele, that battle you talked about, they go deep, and Mosey wins again and converts a 3rd down and long.
Such a luxury for any quarterback to have a playmaker like Mosey, where when in doubt, just throw it up, like he's Randy Moss out there making those plays.
47 yards is Quay Chapman on the 1st down rush, but Danon, how about this catch by Mosey?
Well, let's give some love to the offensive line, doing a nice job securing that pocket right there. And then, even though he's tightly covered, you know you have the advantage with Mosey down the field. Makes a big play. I referenced Randy Moss. That's exactly what he did throughout most of his career, was just take advantage of size, physicality differences on the outside, making big plays like that.
3-yard run, 2nd down and 7 after Chapman took it. Chapman's going to get it again. And a nice lower body tackle there, as that was Masters, the free safety. And that's how you have to tackle Chapman. You can't go high on this kid. He's a 6'1", 200-pound back, and Masters gets him by the ankles, and it's going to be 3rd down and 6.
It looked like Chapman had a chance to plant that left foot and go backside on a cutback. Tries to bounce it out there. Nice job of open field tackle by Dayton Masters.
Very good baseball player. Played linebacker last year, now moved to safety. 3rd down and 6. Play action. Mitchell in trouble. Able to get away with his feet. Keep the play alive, but he's going down in a sack. Alexopoulos there to make the sack. Also involved was Lewis, their 2 top defensive players. And Mitchell takes a sack on 3rd down and 6. It'll be 4th down. And they're going to need 11.
Part of me thinks that this was a designed run play here. I'm not sure if he had the option to throw the ball. At least maybe he had the awareness of recognizing his offensive lineman down the field and didn't want to incur a penalty. So that'd be a mature play by Mekhi Mitchell to hold on to that ball. A negative play, but a smart play nonetheless.
Hocker also involved, as this will be a 34-yard attempt. Kick on the way. It is good. As Kent able to knock it through from 34, so they're able to get points in what could be a shootout tonight. 14-10 Tigers late, or the Tigers late first quarter, as Kent able to connect. He is the senior kicker. And the game of the week is brought to you by Hy-Vee. Hy-Vee, proud to support Kansas City high school athletics. Temperatures in the upper 50s. We're outdoors broadcasting from the video deck. About 75 of our friends up here. Got a full house up here.
Yes, we do. A full house. This entire facility, a beautiful facility here.
And there we are.
Stadium. Yes.
All bundled up with
There we
a
go.
lot of folks up here.
They're all up here for you, Kevin.
Oh, yeah.
This is your fan base up here. That's what I heard.
As Houchin kick it away. Short and directional, taken at the 28-yard line. And this is Feeney. This is a dangerous guy with the football. Feeney is the top wide receiver, takes it out to the 40-yard line. So they tried a directional kick, but you don't want to kick at the number 5.
Yeah, you got to figure out your personnel there. But each team being a little crafty in how they're approaching kickoffs, whether it's squib kicks on the ground, little pooch kick there. Each time it's really equated outside of the opening kickoff of the game. Each team has gotten really favorable field position based on that kickoff strategy.
So Lehman in the offense, good field position, as Danon mentioned, at the 40-yard line. Hatfield to the left hip of the quarterback, play action. Lehman not a runner, scrambling, and now just throws this one away. It'll be 2nd down and 10. There's no receiver in that area. That must have been a busted play there potentially.
Well, he's looking for Feeney out there on the outside running a slant route, but he wasn't open. So smartly, instead of trying to throw it away from inside the pocket, he made sure he got outside the pocket, threw it away to not incur a penalty. So seeing a lot of smart play by each of these quarterbacks, making split-second decisions in the right way. Just throw it out of bounds, live for 2nd down.
Kamari Moore, who's headed to Oklahoma, had the pressure. They'll throw it to Gourdet. Comes back and makes the catch, gets upended at the 47-yard line. He'll get 7 on the play. It'll be 3rd down and 3. Brock Gourdet, 6'1", 185 pounds. Shows some good athleticism on this catch as he tries to hurdle the defender.
Holds on
Defender
to
still
the
got a
football
piece.
too, yeah. And you're seeing great pursuit from the backside by the Broncos defensive line as well. So just like we praised the Tigers early on about rally tackling, seeing some of that displayed by the Broncos as well.
Big down and distance. Lehman's pass on the slant, caught for a 1st down. Feeney, their go-to guy, has it at the 46 on the plus side of the 50.
And Josiah Robinson has his hands full trying to guard Feeney on the outside, just running that slant route, uses his body to shield off the defender. You see Chase Pearsall, the big-time inside linebacker, coming in there to try to make the hit to dislodge the ball just a little bit late.
Well, Feeney is their top receiver. He has now 13 TD catches on the year. They want the deep ball down the field this time. Looking for Preston Hatfield. And that's how the first quarter will end. Final regular season game on the Missouri side on the Hy-Vee High School Game of the Week. All right, we have not officially gone to the second quarter. Les, what do you got down on the field?
It's interesting, you know, from the baseball play, one of the confusing things for me is the untimed down, the dreaded untimed down, but that was that penalty at the end, and so you can't end the quarter on that, and so they have to go ahead and take that down and then officially call it the quarter ending and then switch it over. It's confused. It was so confusing down here that the crowd got completely quiet on both sides. I mean, even this big matchup here, you could hear a pin drop on both sides, but they finally got it figured out.
So there was a roughing the quarterback penalty on the Broncos.
Yep.
So the quarter could not end. Then Hatfield with the short run was the end of the first quarter. Let's go back to the roughing of the quarterback.
Yeah, the clock was expiring, and you can see a few extra hands on the quarterback, draws the penalty. As Les mentioned, you can't end the quarter on a penalty, so they had to replay an untimed down. Part of the reason why you have that, Kevin, is because if the weather was a factor and you were kicking a field goal or trying to put points on the board, you would not want to be penalized by having to go from kicking with the wind into the wind or having any kind of shift of the field without having the benefit of an untimed down with the penalty. So that's part of the reason why you would have that replay.
So now we're in the quarter break. And what's your thoughts thus far on this Lee Summit squad? Benny Palmer is their offensive coordinator. There you see him with the headset in the huddle here. Early on, the Tigers look ready to go tonight.
Ready to go. They came in with a mindset and attitude, whether it was the play calling, the rolling of the dice on trick plays, the approach on the kickoffs. They came in with a complete game plan, and so far they are executing it against one of the top teams in the state.
I'm so old I did Benny Palmer's games when he was in high school at Kearney. As Lehman throwing down the field, has his man on the sidelines, the big tight end, Landon Van Pelt, 6'9", 250, showing some good hands, holding on, and it's a 1st down, Tigers.
Yeah, he does a nice job. He has to battle through some traffic coming from the top of the screen, kind of base the defense by falling down just a bit, but then he separates himself from the linebacking core. Great touch pass there as well from Lehman. Gets the job done, gets another 1st down for the Tigers.
13 yards. The one reception this year for Van Pelt was a 2-point conversion. The throw to the outside. Feeney using the stiff arm. Feeney working the sidelines. He'll have it 1st and goal down near the 6-yard line. Karsten Feeney, Damon, he is 6'2", 190. This guy is a tough wide receiver to tackle. He's a big dude.
Yeah, and they're doing a nice job splitting him out to the wide side of the field, putting he versus the corner on an island and bump and run coverage, and just saying, I'm more physical than you, catching the ball on quick plays and getting yardage after catch and contact. Another big play for the Tigers and Feeney.
four-sport athlete, plays basketball, does track, football, and also plays volleyball. Screen pass, and it's Hatfield. He'll get it in from 6 yards out. Preston Hatfield showing off the receiving skills as the offense continues to click here for the Tigers on a 6-yard screen pass. Preston Hatfield.
Yeah, these guys work in sync so well. Hatfield doing a nice job with that quickness and speed, getting the guys quickly the ball that can make plays, playmakers on the Tigers for another score.
PAT by Tyree is up and good. And the Tigers offense clicking at home tonight as they go with their running back on a little screen pass.
Yeah, just a little bit of a wide receiver screen. And look at the maneuverability out in space by his blockers to escort him into the end zone. Takes a hit right there, but you can see the energy just different for the Tigers tonight. How about the block? Look at Feeney with the block there. That's such a tough block to sustain when you have to stalk block a defensive back in the open field. That with a play that takes that long, Kevin, takes a lot to accomplish. 8 plays, 60 yards, 2 minutes and 5 seconds off the clock for another score for the Tigers.
It's a 21-10 ball game. Lee Summit, number 5 in the Missouri media poll, taking on number 3, Lee Summit North. CBC number 1, Nixa number 2. As these teams battle for the conference crown and the number 1 seed in their district tonight. A lot on the line as there's a nice return by the Broncos. And that was William Ray this time. So the wide receivers are back there returning kicks, and Ray and Vance in good field position now for the Broncos. Let's take a look at the Class 6 District number 6. If Lee Summit wins tonight, they would leapfrog North and get the number 1 seed. That's big because you'll get home games during the rest of the way pretty much until the state finals. And you'll have a bye next week, both North, Lee Summit, and Rockers. But the loser of this game tonight will play Rockers.
Yeah.
The winner will play either the 4 or 5 seed. And here's Chapman on a cutback run. Chapman out near midfield. So a lot of moving parts as we've got a flag down after the Chapman run. But a lot on the line tonight.
Holding penalty on the offensive line of the Broncos. Another negative play there. Now they'll be at 1st and 20 yards.
Holding on the offense. Replay 1.
Les, what do you have?
Well, I just had a chance, that little brief moment, to talk to Mason Miller, Todd Miller's son, who's the linebacker at Iowa State. He's up this week. They're off, and he was watching his dad. And I said, Mason, man, how important is this game for your dad? And he's like, you know, I just love watching my dad coach. He loves this game. And then he told me something really, really poignant. He said, you know, I think this year he's having the most fun he's ever had coaching football. And I said, well, it's important for you to be here to support him. He's like, yeah, man, I love my dad, and I love watching him play.
And Mitchell, thanks Les, taking off, trying to get back some of the penalty yardage, but not much doing. Yeah, that's the reason that the coach took this job, to be closer to Ames, Iowa, to watch his son, Mason Miller, who's standing down to the left of his dad at the 25-yard line in a white hoodie, and he's a linebacker at Iowa State. Dad was a linebacker at Eastern Illinois.
I got a little bone to pick with Mason, man. They beat my Hawkeyes just a few weeks ago.
Well, he's down there at the 25-yard line. You can see him there. He's standing right there.
I don't want to challenge him. I mean, he's a linebacker, you know.
No.
Us wide receivers, I made a living staying away from
25-yard line. And flag is down. Pass down the field looking for Mosey, incomplete. Once again, flags to deal with.
It looked like everybody stopped at the line of scrimmage for some reason.
And a penalty on the Broncos.
With this high-powered offense that the Broncos have, they can't afford to have as many negative plays as they do, Kevin, but they get to move the ball back again.
Holding. Offense. Declined. Third down.
That's interesting.
So they decline the penalty.
To decline the penalty, which allows the ball to stay exactly where it was at the line of scrimmage because it was an incomplete pass. You lose the down.
They want third down and 19.
That's get the ball back.
Yeah, so they're trying to force them on a 3 and out. Third down and 19. Penalty marred drive. Pass it, complete it. Bennett the catch, but he's taken down at the 44-yard line. Gain of 10. They needed 19. Alexopoulos there, their leading tackler, to knock him off his pins. And it'll be fourth down facing the Broncos.
The Broncos don't look like they even are hesitating. Oh, now they'll rotate the punt unit out. I thought they were just going to try to make a statement here by keeping the offense on the field.
Well, they do keep their quarterback on the field. Mekhi Mitchell serves as their punter, so you have to be aware that one of their most dangerous offensive weapons is going to take this punt snap, and he does send a pretty good punt down the field. Fair catch called for by Hatfield at the 20-yard line. So it'll be 36 yards, no return, and Lee Summit getting it back, leading 21-10. As there's Benny Palmer, their OC. And Benny, he was a star player at Kearney. He's coached in the metro area now as the offensive coordinator. And Coach Miller said, yeah, we've heard Benny was quite the player. I said, yeah, I can back that up. Benny was a good high school player at Kearney. Not the biggest guy coming off the bus, but he was a winner.
It's all about heart, man. It's not about size.
And Lehman and the offense out. And he wants to throw on first down. Looking for a deep ball to Feeney. Feeney can't run it down. There's some jostling in the secondary, but no flags fly. Yes. Coverage is pretty good back there.
Bryce Rudolph doing a nice job. Seek out the receiver, then find the ball. See how he flips his hips right here to see the ball. It's a nice job of coverage. Textbook coverage by a safety there to force the second down and incompletion.
Yeah, Bryce Rudolph, one of their top tacklers on the season.
I like how each team's not afraid to go for home runs. They're not trying to necessarily be designed to nickel and dime the ball down the field.
Flag is down as the pass is caught in the flat by Peyton Hatfield. Nice play there by Javion Douglas. Legal shift will be the call on Lee Summit.
How about Javion Douglas, 6'1", 293 pounds, getting out there on the perimeter to lower the boom on the receiver.
Illegal shift on the offense. It's declined. Third down.
So now, again, taking the down instead. Douglas, they said, had a
interesting.
was kind of a fleshy body, but he really has improved, got quicker, and you saw it on that play.
Well, interesting that they declined the penalty here. It's different when you are 2nd and 20. Now you're 3rd and 10, still attainable for a first down, just a shorter distance than if you'd have took the penalty.
Pressure comes, they throw it to Hatfield, and he's immediately stopped at the 25-yard line. Pearsall, the hybrid player, kind of a linebacker slash safety right there to make the stop.
Yeah, one of the more athletic linebackers you'll see in the Metro, doing a nice job there, closing the cushion quickly. Chase Pearsall, another D1 prospect.
Feeney punting it away, short punt. Gets a nice roll across midfield, and it'll be touchdown at the 47-yard line. So it'll be only a 28-yard punt, no return, and now the Broncos down 21-10.
9 seconds, 8 minutes, 9 seconds left in this first half. Kevin, I just feel like maybe each coach should come together in the second half and just decide they're not going to kick it off, they're not going to punt it, just put the ball at the 50-yard line. That's pretty much what they've done this whole first half anyway, with the punts, the kickoff strategies, the ball's been right around midfield, each team having very good field position to start drives.
So Ty Mitchell on the offense coming out. Lone score, a touchdown pass caught by Isaiah Mosey. Running play. And Mosey, we will see him run the football. He's got a very good yards per carry average at over 8 yards per carry. Now he'll go out to a wide receiver position. He got 9, second down and 1. And here's Chapman. He has the first down as he's gang tackled at the 41-yard line. He'll get 3 on the play.
And that's what you have to do to try to keep contained of Chapman, is rally tackle him there, but hadn't heard much from him since the first couple of drives of this game. They need to get him going, not only to give their defense a little bit of a rest on the sideline, Kevin, but it's been the anchor of this offense, or one of the anchors of this offense between he and Mosey, is the running game and the effectiveness of it.
Whistles and flags prior to the snap.
They keep having the same penalties go against them, the Broncos.
Offense, replay 1.
False start or illegal motion on the offense. That means 2 guys moving at the same time. Something they got to address is head coach Jason Rodgers there. Got to address that at halftime. Make sure everybody's on the same page.
So 1st and 15 now for the Broncos, trailing 21-10. And now more whistles and more flags. And the fans starting to grumble.
Well, this is another example, false start again. Guys are not breaking the huddle and getting to the line of scrimmage and getting set. As a former wide receiver, we got the longest yardage, the most real estate to cover.
False start. Offense, replay 1.
And the quarterback and everyone on offense has to realize that. Allow the receivers to get out to their spot well outside the numbers. Look, the ball's spotted on the hash mark. So if you're a receiver, Kevin, and you have to get out to outside the numbers on the wide side of the field, you got about 30-plus yards to get there. Quarterback has to take a little bit more time to let everybody get set.
So behind the chains with penalties, 1st and 20 now for the Broncos as Mitchell wants the deep ball, looking for his man, and it's going to be intercepted at the 11-yard line, and that is Hatfield. And we got to differentiate. That is Preston Hatfield coming in for his 4th interception of the year as he takes it away from Mosey. And our first turnover of the game. Preston Hatfield has 2 touchdowns, now an INT, Danon.
Excellent coverage down the field. This has been a play that has hampered the Tigers with the athleticism and prowess of Isaiah Mosey. They just throw it up here, but watch how he makes the adjustment right there, snatches it away from Mosey, high points it, gets the job done.
That was Ray, I beg your pardon.
William Ray.
And what an athletic move.
Oh, William Ray, the intended receiver.
Right.
Down the field.
I
not
thought it was
Mosey.
Mosey, but it was Ray, the junior. And now Tigers get it, go jet sweep with the other Hatfield. And this is Peyton, a nice gain out near the 19-yard line, a gain of some 7 yards. And the Tigers.
Just a scrappy group.
Yeah.
This team, even when we talked with head coach Todd Miller, he talked about, hey, we're not going to be the prettiest getting off the bus, but we're a scrappy, hard-nosed team, and that's what we've seen so far in this first half.
Well, their offensive coordinator Coach Miller says Coach Palmer just gets the ball to the guys that can make plays, gets the ball to the playmakers. That's his job as an OC. Lehman, pass, caught. Not much running room for Hatfield. Has Harrison right there to shut him down, and also Bryce Rudolph.
Yeah, this is crucial for the Broncos here defensively. If they can force a stop, force a punt, have something positive to go into halftime with. Let's remember, the Tigers won the toss, deferred to the second half. You know, there's 5 minutes, 20 seconds left in this half, Kevin. They can continue to have this drive, keep the ball away from the Broncos, even cap it off with even a field goal. They have an opportunity, maybe 2 consecutive
Solomon
drops.
Cole was involved in that last stop for the Broncos as we get a timeout for the Tigers, facing a 3rd down and 4 deep in your own territory.
And he's accidentally covered it. Right? It's coming back middle.
I think head coach Jason Rogers, his staff, and his team knew that they were not going to come in and push over the Tigers. But as you mentioned, I'm not sure anybody thought that they would come out with the fervor that they've come in this game. 21 points, causing turnovers, forcing penalties. Seems like the Broncos are a little bit outside themselves, going to have to regroup in the second half. But if I know that man right there, the head coach, Jason Rogers, God-fearing man, down-to-earth man, he knows exactly what he has in his unit. He'll have his footprint on this team. They'll play some quality football in the second half.
Broncos definitely a strong second half team. Just ask their opponents. They're 8-0 on the year. As now Lehman scrambling, and he's going to be taken down as that was Moore able to get him down. The young man that's headed to the University of Oklahoma, Kamari Moore, able to get the sack and force a punt as it'll be 4th down now.
That's a great job of persistence here. Broken play, but watch how each of those guys were utilizing their speed. The flag came in. You got to make sure this is not on the Broncos, because if it is, be a 1st down
Dead
for
ball.
the Tigers.
Substitution. Offense.
Lehman was a little shaken up. I think he was late getting off the field. There's Lehman. You don't see any trainers around him there in the bench area, but he was a little slow to come off the field. Really no gain on the last play. We can't give Moore a sack, as it's going to be 4th down, punting time. Feeney to punt it away. He's waiting at the goal line for the snap. He's averaging about 40 yards per punt. And able to get this one away. Not a good punt. Takes a horrible bounce if you're a Tigers fan. That looked like a golf ball on a green just backing up.
Actually, about a 7-yard punt.
Wow, that is excellent field position now for the Broncos. They'll take over at the 21-yard line. Yes, it's a little bit of a windy night. Yes, there was some pressure up the middle, but this ball just hits and takes an absolute.
It's like your pitching wedge. That's less. That's less.
No,
than
I can't
pitching
even
wedge.
spin it. Yeah, that's
Like
less.
that.
Yeah, I was going to say, I can't even spin a golf ball like that. As now Mekhi Mitchell, short field, need to take advantage down 21-10. Chapman to the edge. Chapman bumped out by Hatfield, but a nice gain on 1st down. Let's see if they want to run the ball a little more. And now a player is down near the Broncos sideline.
Looks like another offensive lineman down on the field.
And it's again the center, Leo, who we saw who left early, and now he's down again.
Give him some credit trying to battle through some injuries. re-aggravated that right knee again. That's the same limp that we saw earlier. Blocking right there in the middle of the screen, seals off, and it just looks like his right knee caves just a bit, just can't put any weight on it. Give him credit for trying to fight through that injury. Tough kid.
Walker back in at center as Leo is out. 2nd down and 6 Broncos. Chapman a cutback run. He's wrapped up by Hawker, the dog, or kind of a hybrid player, linebacker, safety player, making a nice stop there.
Pinching the edges. The Tigers, that's what they're doing with that hybrid linebacker, outside linebacker position, not really giving Chapman any real room to get vertical down the field.
Only a gain of 1. Nice play by Hawker. 3rd down and 5. Ball at the 16. Mitchell throws a slant, and that one had some steam on it. 1st down, as making the catch is Bennett. And it'll be 1st and goal Broncos.
That's an excellent job, just a hitch route over the middle of the field. Easy throw and catch, but as you mentioned, had some zip on that pass. Now we have another player down on the field, Dayton Masters, the safety for the Tigers.
Injury timeout for the Tigers. Is Dayton gonna just walk it off as the trainer?
Looks like he's got left arm for Masters there, maybe a little bit of a stinger.
So they lose their starting safety. 1st and goal, spotted at the 5. Now the ball hits the cornerback's knee, but it comes right back. What a fortuitous bounce there. Back to Mitchell. As the ball hit him in the knee, bounced forward, and then he was able to cover it up. Watch this ball.
Yeah, it looks like Mitchell wasn't ready for it. Hits his left knee.
Yeah, and then but the ball is kicked right back to him. Yeah.
That's a great job by Mitchell going after it.
McGuire, the defensive lineman, did not realize the ball was there, and he kind of just kicked it. As Walker, your new center. As it'll be 2nd down and goal. Here's Chapman, and he's blown up in the backfield. As Alexopoulos, their Mike linebacker, with the penetration and tackle for a loss.
What the Tigers are doing when they are pressuring in the backfield, whether it's a run play or trying to attack the quarterback, they're leaving their outside shoulder open. That means they're trying to force the ball carrier to be back inside. And there you see right there, see how he attacked him with his inside shoulder. He left it open on the outside so he could not cut outside of him. Outside in tackling ability there. Forces 3rd down.
3rd and goal from the 7. Mitchell looking left, throwing a fade to the end zone, and Mosey reels it in. Touchdown Broncos. Isaiah Mosey on a 50-50 ball said, "That's mine." Touchdown number 2 on the night for number 2.
Yeah, not bad coverage by Cameron Steele. And actually, they tried to rotate Jackson Hawker out there to double team him real quick, almost like Calvin Johnson and how they used to defend him for the Detroit Lions. But Mosey making a more athletic catch and a score, another score for the Broncos.
7 yards on the reception, his 2nd of the night. He's got double figures TD catches on the year. Had 4 last week, got 2 this week, so 6 in the last 2 weeks as we've got flags down. And this one on the Tigers.
Yeah, the Tigers attacked the line of scrimmage, got into the neutral
Good
zone.
ball. Encroachment.
And we've
Defense.
seen some teams go for 2
Retry.
when it's half the distance.
Yeah, there's a decision to be made here. Are you going to kick the extra point or go for 2 here now that the ball is moved up half the distance to the goal line?
And it looks like they are going to go for 2. I saw Mosey immediately grab for his helmet, and here comes the offense back on the field. They will go for a 2-point conversion to try to make it 21-18.
I don't have a problem with this 2-point conversion now that the ball's inside the 1-yard line. You can get within a field goal of tying this ball game with 2 minutes, 24 seconds left in this first half.
2-point conversion try from the 1.5 on a half the distance penalty. Mitchell throwing to the outside, knocked away. Nice play by Preston Hatfield as he got in the passing lane and said, I don't think so, as he slapped it to the turf.
Thought this was Sky Moore or Kadarius Toney in the Super Bowl against the Philadelphia Eagles. They try to run that same route, the exit route by the motion receiver. The bottom of the screen, you can see, oh, this is the touchdown here. Watch they try to rotate a double team out there just a little bit late. The big, strong body and hands of Mosey secures the touchdown and the 2-point conversion. See that motion right there? Try to exit him out real quick. Just a better play by the defensive back, Preston Hatfield.
Les, what do you got for us?
Guys, sometimes it pays to be right here on the sideline. That happened right in front of me. Number 2, Preston Hatfield jumped that route. Man, he was backpedaling and immediately got to full speed moving forward. Superman laid out with an arm to knock that down. You don't see at the high school level, even with these two good teams, that kind of play. That was amazing.
So Comer was the target. Hatfield said, I don't think so. 2-point conversion failed. And here is the return. And the ball is loose on the field, covered up by Hatfield. Hatfield was the guy that put it on the turf. He has the athleticism to go get that ball and cover it up, and it ends up being a good return.
So we've seen 2 fumbles by each team in these last couple of drives with the ball going right back to the person who fumbled it. Good aggressive return there, nice play dislodging the ball on the kickoff coverage. But as you mentioned right there, Peyton Hatfield holding on to it, allows with just 2 minutes, 15 seconds left, an opportunity for the Tigers to possibly have 2 consecutive possessions because they get the ball coming out for the third quarter.
Kanan Patterson was the guy that jarred it free. Running play up to the 50-yard line by Preston Hatfield as he's wrestled down by Pearsall. Gain of 8, 2nd down and 2.
Sideline to sideline speed by Pearsall displayed there.
Lehman throwing low, incomplete. As that time, good coverage by Rudolph. And we're looking for Feeney, I believe. A little slant action. But Rudolph has done a good job as the safety man in coverage.
They haven't gone to Feeney on that hitch route on the outside. Not from the slot, but on the outside, the slant or hitch route.
3rd down and 2. Tigers scrimmaging at midfield, leading by 5 just before halftime. This is Hatfield, breaks a tackle into the secondary. Preston Hatfield will stop and go inside the 20. What a run on 3rd down and short. He goes from looking like he's going to be tackled for a loss to a big, explosive play gainer for the Tigers.
Talking about playing big, I mentioned about size not being an issue when you have the heart and determination. Preston Hatfield, 5'8", 155, absorbs 2 hits in the backfield, spins off, and then turns on the Jets down the sideline for another big play.
Explosive 33 yards. They go on a slant to Feeney, and he's wrapped up after a short catch and run, as that was Caleb Green on the stop. It's going to be about 5 yards.
Wow, what a play. Igniting this fan base. Big play after big play for the Tigers in this first half.
Preston Hatfield, couple of touchdowns and an interception. As here's Lehman on the pass, gonna be nearly intercepted as the receiver and the quarterback not on the same page. Feeney did not break off the route, and that was Nolan Spinks nearly got the INT.
Yeah, not on the same page. He's looking for the hitch route. It looked like Feeney was trying to run a hitch and go. Got to be able to make that interception there. tough break for the Broncos.
2 interceptions on the season for Spinks, and he's going to juice up those gloves now as they let him down on that last one as he couldn't hang on. Now on 3rd down, they'll throw the fade to the back, and it's caught! Feeney with the catch in the back of the end zone as he beats Spinks. And they strike again. 12-yard touchdown pass. Feeney from Lehman. These Tigers are fired up tonight. Their fans in pink loving it as they score just before halftime.
And what a well-designed play. They noticed something about Spinks' coverage. Able to exploit it there on the fade route. Good throw and catch.
Extra point up and good. Danon.
Look at the top of the screen. A little shake off the line of scrimmage. Then get vertical. Just runs right past him. Knows exactly where he is in the end zone. Easy throw and catch. Tigers making some noise.
Second receiving touchdown of the night. Guy has 15 on the year. Otis Taylor, award winner potentially. This guy, he's got to be on the list, along with the guy on the other sidelines, Mosey, as they work out the 28 push-ups. As it's a 7-play, 58-yard drive. Feeney, his second receiving touchdown of the night. And 28 points on the board as we approach halftime for the Tigers.
Yeah, this is a key drive. You got 49 seconds left for the Broncos. Are you going to try to take some chances? Remember, the Tigers won the coin toss, so they get the ball to start the second half. The Broncos don't opt to score. You basically have 2 consecutive drives possibly in play for the Tigers.
And here's the return by the Broncos. And it's a good return out near the 35-yard line. That was Conaway. Got off to an inauspicious start with the first kickoff as he took it out of bounds about the 3-yard line. It kind of hurt the Broncos early on. Now, well, Danon's got the question tonight. Do you attack this team? Usually the teams see what they do on this first down play.
Yeah.
If it's no good, then we'll just take a knee and go to the locker room down 28-16, or if they
you got that
convert it, then you can go.
Yeah, you got the wide receiver, and look at the defense of the Tigers on Isaiah Mosey.
2 timeouts for the Broncos as here's Mitchell throwing on the run, and the pass is broken up as a hard hit is delivered there. Man, I felt that one all the way up here. That was Masters coming back from the injury.
And a clean hit by Dayton Masters. He goes for the ball. He just pushes the receiver right there, uses the front of his body, not his helmet, for any kind of targeting penalty. Good smart play there, aggressive play, but you can see braces a little bit with his, instead of using his full body, uses his hands to deliver a blow as well.
Yeah, Cray Burns will feel that one tomorrow.
Yeah.
That was the wide receiver as we get a timeout on the field.
It looked like Coach Jason Rogers was heading in to talk to the officials because he wants to know why that was not a targeting penalty.
Well, James Funk will give it an
defenseless
explanation.
Well, Coach Rogers called a timeout so he can go out there and confer with the officials, and he wants an explanation on why that was not a defenseless receiver. I think it's warranted to ask the question from our vantage point. He draws a penalty there. It's questionable whether it's defenseless. I don't think it's targeting, but defenseless receiver is definitely at the judgment. Got a little bit of a helmet-to-helmet there. I mean, I'm old school, so it's tough for me to gauge that, and I'm a wide receiver. Usually, I'm biased towards the wide receiver side. Kevin, this is not the Danon you've known for all these years.
Wow.
I've gone the middle ground.
was a flag thrown, but now no yardage was walked off. So it'll be 2nd down and 10. And now Makhi Mitchell dancing around in the pocket. Hit as he throws. Pass going to be intercepted. That's Cam Steele going down low. And the second turnover by the Broncos as Herzog Stadium erupts. As we're just before halftime, as their fans starting to celebrate. Well, we got a long way to go, guys in pink. As now Masters a little shaken up. And now Makhi Mitchell is shaken up. So a lot of bodies slow to leave the field on both sides. Quarterback was hit as he threw the ball.
Yeah.
And Steele got the interception. Cam Steele.
It looked like some of the Broncos receivers were surprised that Makhi Mitchell was still running around behind the line of scrimmage. He threw that up for an opportunity for his receivers to make a play, and now smartly it looks like the Tigers are going to kneel down.
As you mentioned, they're going to have the ball to start the 3rd quarter. All right, let's go back to the interception thrown by Mitchell.
Yeah, you can see gets pressure, nice pressure at the bottom of the screen by Kierra Lewis, forces him out of the pocket, then back in. But you see the hit right at the end from the blind side, but a great job of making the adjustment on the errant throw. Receiver that was intended there was Quade Chapman. It's a missed throw, errant throw, and a lot of positivity for the Tigers going in at halftime.
28-16, the home team leading it as the conference district's #1 seed on the line and a city rivalry win as we check in with Les.
Todd Miller for Lee Summit, Coach.
You got to. You can't make any unforced errors against this team. They're too athletic and too well coached. So I think our kids played a pretty clean half. We had a couple balls bounce our way with fumbles. So we'll go in and thank the good Lord that they didn't get the ball back. We had that really set them up. But other than that, we played pretty clean.
It looks like your defense did really well. Your defense plays, so it looks like things are going really well there too.
Well, they're a second half team for sure. So they've come out every game this year and just really dominated. So we got to turn it up. It's not over, and I know these guys are going to come out and give us everything they got.
Thanks, Coach. Second half. Thank you.
Thanks, Les. Thanks, Coach. The mini Tigerettes ready to take the field at halftime. Coming back with Hy-Vee at the half as we'll have a special look at Jason Rogers, the head coach of the Lee Summit North Broncos by our own Derek Zimmer Geyer. That's part of our halftime here on Spectrum News. And the team starting to get back out on the field. We see the Broncos coming out of the visiting locker room. Down by 12. They haven't trailed much this year. It'll be interesting to see how they handle things here in the 3rd and 4th quarter. But the scouting report says, watch out. The Broncos are a very strong second half team. And if they want the #1 seed and an outright conference title, they're going to have to bring it here in the second half.
Well, it's always about a game of adjustments. That's what it has to be, and great coaches know how to take those first minutes of the first half and then go into the locker room and make the necessary adjustments. I have total confidence that what we'll see from each of these teams, Todd Miller, Jason Rogers, will be the best versions of their teams for this second half. It's going to be fun.
Les, what do you got as far as the Lee Summit North side?
A little while ago, and he said that he likes where they are. They're a good second half team. He's not nervous. He thinks they're in a good situation, even though they don't want to be down. But one of the things he did talk about, besides too many penalties, is that he doesn't mind the holding penalties. He doesn't want them to have any personal fouls or anything like that. It's just when a player seems like he's in a defenseless situation. He said he'll get kicked out of a game to go to defense for his guys. So he wasn't happy for that, but overall he thinks they're in a good spot, and he's not panicking. He thinks they're going to have a good second half.
Well, there's Coach Rogers. He was pretty mad about his wide receiver taking a hit. Burns got lit up here by Masters.
And I think, when I first looked at it, you see the hands in front. Maybe persuades the officials not to throw the flag, but I totally understand where head coach Jason Rogers is coming from, because in slow motion, that helmet does clip each other. And remember, there's a difference between a targeting penalty and hitting a defenseless receiver. You can make an argument that that was a defenseless receiver, so I totally get the passion and energy that Jason Rogers, head coach there for the Broncos, brought to the officials.
One of the big stars in the first half, number 2 in black, Preston Hatfield, both offensively and defensively.
Getting the job done, a little hook and ladder here. Uses the speed to get down the field. 6 receptions, 96 yards, 2 touchdowns. Also has the 1 interception as well for the defense. So, playmaker making plays, getting the job done for the Tigers.
And running the ball very effectively tonight. But still 2 quarters to play. Once again on the line. They're playing for the Suburban Gold Crown. If the Broncos win, they're the outright champions. If Lee Summit wins, they will tie. But if Lee Summit wins tonight, as far as the district goes, they will leapfrog North and be the number 1 seed in the Class 6 district, number 6. Home field advantage after their bye. And Lee Summit will play the winner of the West and Ray-Pec ball game, and then the loser this game will play Rockhurst after a bye.
What a great turnaround by the Tigers last year to this year. You've mentioned it.
4-7 last year. Now they're 7-1. And we know the Broncos, 8-0, strong second half team. What's the message in there?
I think for the Broncos, it's about staying the course, staying with the game plan. They believe they had a winning game plan coming into the game. Had a couple of bad breaks against them in the first half, but that doesn't deter their confidence. I know Jason Rogers, he's a faithful man. He is a passionate man. He loves his kids on his team. They believe in him as well. They're going to come out and fight for the second half. And head coach Todd Miller for the Tigers, you got to believe he's instilled an attitude about this team that they can't be beat, they won't be bettered on the field, and they showed a lot of grit in that first half. They just want to carry it into the second half. It's a complete football game. I'm sure that's the message that he's relaying to his guys as well.
Next week, we flip the calendar to November. Yes, November 1st. Kansas State High School Activities Association playoffs, but game TBD, to be determined. We'll go through all the brackets and machinations, and I won't make the decision, so somebody will make the decision. And we will have a game for you the day after Halloween.
Yes. What are you dressing up for on Halloween?
I've got a Mike Myers mask and a jumpsuit, but I'm probably not going to go with that one.
You're
That
not?
one's, yeah, it's kind of too easy. I had some other options, but
I haven't decided either, Kevin.
I probably will just be an old guy handing out candy is what my costume will be.
Keep it simple.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that.
I want to say congratulations tonight to the 10-year anniversary of the 2014 Lee Summit girls state softball team. They got honored tonight. So that was a special thing for them tonight. Big crowd here at Herzog Stadium, and the fans making some noise as we get ready for the start of the third quarter. Broncos will kick off with their long-haired kicker, young Logan Houchin, the junior.
I think maybe a surprise onside or something here. I don't know.
Well, you never know. In this game, we've seen some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Well, there is young Preston Hatfield, probably the MVP of the first half, but we still got 2 more quarters to go, and this one is just a short directional kick, and now the ball is muffed and covered at the 27-yard line. 2 guys in the area, and another flag is down.
Yeah, I'm not sure what this flag is for. They're going to call that on the coverage team. I disagree with that. That ball is loose. You fly across the ball trying to get to the ball. The game is so fast. Yeah, I don't agree with this one here. I know this is it's a loose ball, even though he secures it.
Personal foul.
He's within one step away
First
from
down.
trying to go after the ball. He hadn't even secured it. That's a tough call to make in that circumstance. The game is so fast. I get you want to protect the players, Kevin, but that, to me, has gone overboard.
So Coach Rogers takes another penalty, and good starting field position for the Tigers as they'll have it at the 43. And they're asking for the lights that are in the quarterback's eyes down the field below the scoreboard. As you take a look at the starting position, favoring Lee Summit North, there is a set of lights.
There's a car that has their lights on that is right in the middle of the field.
Yeah, okay, that is the ambulance there.
And there's
that
a car next to the ambulance as well, right in front of it.
I got you. That's, I didn't even say it. Yeah, so the lights are bothering the, and they're now going to the hood and saying, hey, buddy, turn your lights off. So they're right in the eyes of the quarterback. And still not turning them off.
Well, the problem is there are a lot of cars.
Yeah, there's a lot of it.
Well,
right
there's a
in
lot
your
of cars
eye
that
line, yeah.
don't, the lights come on with the engine. And if you're a little cold and you went back to your car.
Lehman, quick pass to the edge. And that is the other Hatfield brother. That's Peyton with great second effort after the catch. And he's shaken up after a 10-yard gain, it looks like.
The Hatfields know how to break tackles in the open field. The engine just keeps running with each of these guys. You see right here, it's a pretty good stop right there at the point of attack. Yeah, he didn't really have a full grip on him. But to gain another 10 yards after contact there, that's special.
Green finally wrapped him up, but it is a first down for the Tigers. And they'll go with Preston darting through, and a nice big gain to the 40-yard line, 7 yards. And the Hatfield twins, they're identical, chopping up the Broncos defense early on.
This is a touchdown-saving tackle by Harrison. These guys are like just ping pong balls out there. Each of these guys know how to break tackles. Small in stature, huge hearts.
Play action, slant, low and incomplete, as that one was behind and low to Peyton Hatfield. Now it'll be 3rd down and 3, Tigers.
Yeah, this is just an RPO. It's a quick slant, but doesn't look like Hatfield is on the same page. He's looking to go deep here past the safeties. He's got to understand the design of that play. The quarterback gets rid of the ball quickly for a quick slant.
Lehman's had a big night, throwing the football, now needs to convert 3rd down and short. Screen pass, intercepted, big man interception going back the other way. That is Javion Douglas. And he'll take it down to the 35-yard line. Big number 99, 6'1", 293, makes his first interception of the season.
And made it look smooth, too, right there. Athletic, soft hands. He's one of those guys on the defensive line that always in the ear of the head coach. Hey, coach, I can play tight end. Put me in on offense. Well, these are the type of play. Look how he snatched that ball out of the air, gets north-south down the field. Not going to try to avoid any tackle, just going to try to run you over. Excellent job. We were talking about it during halftime. What the Broncos needed to do to get back in this ball game was a turnover. They get it on the first drive. Davion Douglas.
First and 10, and they'll get Mosey involved, running the football as he takes it inside the 30 down to the 29. He'll get about 6 yards on that run. So Mosey has the 2 receiving touchdowns, but he can also run the football. He has a good yards per carry average.
He's just a big, strong kid. Athletic enough to be at the wide receiver position, but I give it credit to each of these coaches. They figure out ways to get their playmakers the ball.
Second down and 4. This is Chapman trying to get to the outside, but he is wrapped up before he can get to the edge, and that was Omar Maduri, the junior defensive lineman. He goes 5'7", 222, junior. Now, third down and short facing the Broncos.
Yeah, good job. Again, penetration in the backfield. Alexopoulos getting around the ankles of the ball carrier Chapman.
Handed off, crease off the left side, and it's a first down run for Bryce Thompson, who is a sophomore, and he'll get some touches. He's a shifty little back who's got a good yards per carry average, a little juggling act there, but able to hold on as he is taken down by Hawker, but not after getting the first down.
We've seen that a couple of times between the exchange with Mitchell and the running backs, getting the ball up into their shoulder pads or the chest area instead of down in the gut area. Got to be careful with that.
From the 23, quarterback design run by Mekhi Mitchell, and he'll get it down near the 16-yard line, a gain of about 7 yards by Mekhi Mitchell. He averages 7 yards per carry, has 4 rushing touchdowns.
A good push by the offensive line as well. It's an attitude drive for the Broncos coming out of halftime. First opportunity for this offense to put points on the board.
After the Javion Douglas interception, you're right, big number 99. Here's Chapman pounding his way inside the 5, where it'll be first and goal near the 4-yard line. 12-yard run for Quade Chapman, a senior tailback. And we've got an injury timeout on the field for a Tiger down.
Yeah, you see how that entire right side collapsed, the defensive line opened up the door for an easy scamper on that right side. Aggressiveness on the side of the Broncos early in this third quarter.
And that is Masters, who we've seen in the first half leave the ball game. Came back in with that big hit on the wide receiver. Now he's shaken up again and leaving with the trainer again. Dayton Masters, junior free safety.
A lot of physical football being played this evening here in Lee Summit.
You wouldn't expect anything less in a city rivalry game.
Yeah, watch how he goes in right on the legs right there. Not a bad tackle, but at his head up. Gotta pay attention to that.
First and goal from the 4-yard line. Trying to take advantage of an INT. Here's Chapman to the edge. Chapman lost the ball, but he'd already crossed. Let's see what the officials... No, it's going to be a touchback. Oh, my goodness. Chapman had got into the end zone and lost the ball out of bounds. Ball at the 20-yard line for the Tigers.
Wow, what a turn of events for the Broncos. Here's the discussion with the officials. Did he cross the threshold with control of the football before.
Nope. They're saying it is a
And
touchback.
touchback.
Lee
Wow.
Summit ball at the 20-yard line.
We have the vantage point. I know that's on the sideline of the Broncos. The fans over there are irate, but we are seeing as he's crossing right there, that ball is in his right hand. He is not in the end zone. That is a great call by the officials. It fumbled through the end zone, not on the 1-yard line. You can see it falls past the pylon. Andrew Bernassi comes up with the strip there. Huge turn of events.
Backbreaker if you're the Broncos, and now play is stopped on the first down run, and it's a substitution infraction against the Broncos.
Wow.
Dead ball. Substitution on the defense. 12 men. Replay 1.
Wow.
So the Broncos, again, their 9th penalty. Frustration on their sideline with the officiating crew. As it's 1st and 5 now for Lehman and the Tiger offense. Hatfield, little cutback run. Another flag is down as he's at the 30-yard line, a gain of 5 yards.
What a missed opportunity by the Broncos and great play by the Tigers.
Can the Broncos recover?
On the offense. 10 yards. Replay 1.
So now the penalty flag goes against the Tigers. Can they recover? That is a huge blow.
Yes.
Points off the board. You lose 6 points right there, too. Could have been 28-22 with the PAT pending. And now you take a touchdown off the board. It'll be a 1st and 15 now for Lehman as he checks the play chart on his left wrist. Keep it on the ground. It's blown up. That is Moore, the young man that's headed to Oklahoma. He's had a nice game on the D-line. How about the D-line tonight for the Broncos? They got an interception from Douglas. Douglas has had some nice plays, and now Moore makes another nice play defensively. These two guys, 99-1, coming up big for the Broncos' 5-2 Bear defense. Coach Washington is their defensive coordinator. Now it's after the tackle for a loss, 2nd down and 17. Lehman steps and throws as his man down the field. The ball deflects off 2 players and incomplete. Oh my, Hatfield first touch, and then defensively, JoJo Robinson nearly got the interception on the rebound.
Yeah, great closing speed by Robinson right there. Smart without his hands, not getting too physical, but the ball ricochets off of him all the way down to the ground. Right there, once, twice. Had an opportunity for another pick for the Broncos. Gonna live for 3rd down.
Yeah, realistically, they could have 3 interceptions tonight.
Yeah.
Spinks dropped one in the first half. Now 3rd down and long. Get it out. Little emergency pass out there to Feeney, and get what you can on 3rd down and a country mile. They don't get much, as it's going to be 4th down and punting time now. We got a flag down back near the 13-yard line.
I think this might be a illegal man down the field. That screen by the wide receiver. Penalty on the Tigers.
Blocking the back.
Blocking the
On
back.
the offense. Declined. 4th down.
So penalty decline, and the punting unit coming out. That'll be Karsten Feeney as the punter. He just had the last catch. Feeney sends it down the field, and it takes a huge Tigers roll as Ray decided not to field it. And it's all the way down near the 15-yard line. Talk about flipping the field,
Yeah.
Danon. Flag is down on the field near where the ball was touched down.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that flag could be for with all the Tigers down there and no Broncos in the area.
Looks like a 65-yard punt.
That's flipping the field at its best.
And penalty is coming up on Lee Summit North.
Yeah, I'm not sure what this flag is for. They didn't really explain it clear enough.
You look at participation, 12 men on the field. On the return team, half the distance to the goal. First down, White.
So too many men on the field. Broncos get it back though. Down 28-16. Still plenty of time.
Well, wouldn't that, if there's 12 men on the field at the snap, wouldn't you give the option to go back and not assess the penalty or assess the penalty? Illegal participation? A little confusing there.
So inside the 10-yard line, 1st and 10 for Mitchell. Quay Chapman in the backfield. Mitchell going to take off and run, and he breaks free. Mekhi Mitchell into space. He's got blockers down the field. Hatfield can't get him. Still going. Masters will push him out of bounds. And a big-time run by Mekhi Mitchell. And if you saw this guy against Blue Springs South, he is dynamic, an explosive play by the quarterback for the Broncos.
Yeah, such an electric playmaker. As you see Mosey limp off the field, but this is just old school student body right. Let your athlete be an athlete, and in the open field, evading tacklers, changing speeds. He's getting guys down the field blocking for him. Opts to go out of bounds, a big gain for the Broncos.
68 yards, 1st and 10. Here's Chapman on a 1st down cutback run. And he'll only get a couple on the play. And it seemed like in that Blue Springs South ball game, every time the Broncos look to be in trouble, Mekhi Mitchell would bail him out with a big-time run. Can he bail his team out tonight? Down 12 in the second half. Winner gets the #1 seed in the district.
This is a second shot, almost into the red zone.
Oh,
Put
check
points
back.
on the board.
Last run was Mosey, I beg your pardon. Ian Chapman kind of rotating now. Thompson in the ball game, so they're getting all their backs involved. Here's Mitchell again, dancing and shifty again. What a move by Mitchell. Stumbling inside the 10-yard line, 1st and goal. Mekhi Mitchell grabbing this game by the reins with his running ability. 15 yards and a 1st and goal. Man, this guy can run.
Yes, amazing elusiveness in the open field, making something out of nothing. It looked like there were about 4 Tiger tacklers that were able and in a position right there, sealing the edge, then darting and dodging right there again, making another one miss in Hatfield at the defensive back position. Almost skirts through for the score.
1st and goal Broncos. This is Thompson again, juggling the handoff as he took off. And that's becoming a trend that you don't want to see if you're the Broncos. Not a big-time run, but Thompson, every time he gets it, the ball just seems to be bouncing off his chest here.
Yeah, look how high the handoff is. That's kind of up in the chest area. You got to get that ball a little bit down low. It's so tough for a running back to secure the ball, Kevin, and then still utilize his vision to find the open hole to get downfield.
2nd down and goal, not much gain on that 1st down run. This time it's Mosey in his orange shoes and orange gloves. And he'll get it down near, looks like the 2-yard line. Did he lose that football at the end? The ball
You got to be
It's
careful.
covered up by the Broncos, but now it's 3rd down and goal. Last touchdown wiped off the board. Chapman fumbled the ball out of the end zone. Now 3rd down and goal from the 2. Mosey in a wildcat. Mosey cut back. Mosey backing into the end zone, and he is in for the touchdown. 2-yard touchdown. Now a helmet flies off. Flags fly. Oh my, it's getting dicey down at the goal line as you got 2 city rivals going out of here, but Mosey has scored a 2-yard rushing touchdown. And Mosey has lost his lid too.
That was the helmet that came off and flew out of the pile, and it looked like there were a couple of Broncos and Tigers tangled up in there because of that helmet being ripped off. But Mosey actually goes on his own there. It looked like he went away from his blocking, saw a little bit of an opening to skirt through for the score. He has to go out of the game for this next play because he lost his helmet on that play. Still a touchdown. We'll see how this flag impacts the point after.
Personal foul on Lee Summit. Now, half the distance. Do you go for 2?
But I wonder if that assessment is on the kickoff, because half is not, doesn't equate to a personal foul to just move the ball a half a yard. Now with,
Well, they're going to explain it to Coach Rogers and what his options are.
I think you kick the extra point here. 2 points still forces you down by 4 to score a touchdown to go ahead, so doesn't really do you any better to score 2 points here, Kevin, versus just kicking the point after.
And it looks
Touchdown
like
was good.
But they're going to go for it.
After the play, we got a personal foul on the defense. Half the distance to go for the try.
so they will go for a 2-point conversion from the 1.5. Mosey still in the ball game as he will run the Wildcat. Mosey cutting it back, and he is stopped. The 2-point conversion is no good. Mosey stopped at the goal line. He thought he got in, and he is denied. Tigers defensively make the stop. I think it was Harsha that got him. And Mosey is talking to the white hat, but to no effect. It's 28-22, 2-point conversion. No good. And Mosey, well,
Yeah, as they got inside, but this is a play before the touchdown.
yep, he did lose it, but
He
I
lost
think his
the ball.
teammate got it.
But then you come back here. Look how he goes against his blocking right there. Just takes on 2-3 Tiger defenders to get into to get that touchdown there, Kevin. But then the 2-point conversion here. He's arguing that he might have stretched the ball over the goal line. I don't see it there. Great job of rally tackling by the Tigers. That's the second 2-point conversion that they've stopped in this game against the Broncos.
6 plays, 93 yards. You got the explosive runs by Mekhi Mitchell to really set that up. As it's 28-22, this will be fielded at the 26-yard line. And what special teams work by the Broncos as they hustle down the field. And that was Weldon, a special teamer. You got Isaiah Mosey as a 2. You got multiple 2s on the rod. They got multiple numbers everywhere. So there's a little long pause in me trying to decipher what it was. I'm looking through the roster going, is it that number 2 or is it this number 2? Is that number, you know. Got a lot of same number guys.
Yes.
Let's put it that way.
Man, we got ourselves a good
But Weldon,
football
that was a
game.
heck of a special team. I mean, you talk about a blink of an eye down the field and making a tackle. Now the Tigers need to get going here. Lehman throwing on first down, and it's blown up. As that was the defensive line again. Kai Reed this time.
Yes.
Reed, Moore, and Douglas having big games tonight for the Broncos.
Yeah, anytime you can get this type of production from those interior defensive linemen makes it easier. Right now, the adjustments, as we mentioned, Jason Rodgers, his defense at halftime, they have come to play in this third quarter, making it really, really tough for anything positive for the Tigers.
Piper transfer, Kyrie, tackle for a loss. He leads the team in that category. Second down and 14. Lehman down the field, and there's no receivers there. Feeney was the closest, but he kind of threw to a spot there.
Yeah.
And now it's third down and long. You're behind the sticks. Momentum favoring the visitors right now, who still trail in this game.
Well, you consider the 2 possessions that the Tigers have had. This is the 3rd possession of the second half. Interception, punt, and now they're 3rd and 14, possibly leading to the 2nd punt of this second half.
Well, here's a big down and distance if you're the Tigers. Lehman stepping up, not a runner, throws a pass, and it's complete to Hatfield. He gets the first down by a yard to the 40-yard line. It was 3rd and 14. They got 15 as Hatfield may be cramping up, but he's able to convert. And this is just a little pop pass by Lehman.
Yeah, and it looked like that last little step backwards kept him behind the line of scrimmage. So it was not an illegal forward pass. It was not beyond the line of scrimmage there. Great awareness by Lehman. Excellent job getting the first down, extending this drive.
And they'll give it off to Hatfield. Preston. He'll get about 7 or 8 yards on that first down run before Moore got him. Interesting, they go back to the young man who looks like he's cramping up.
Yeah. Getting a little tight out there. Started this game, it was relatively warm when the sun was out. As the sun went down, got a little chilly.
And he's going to come off the field begrudgingly as he talks with Coach Miller. And Feeney is in the backfield as a running back as they go pistol formation. And now trouble in the backfield as Feeney hit the deck on the mesh point, and then the quarterback just decided just to fall forward and Lehman get what he could. And now it's 3rd down again. And Lehman coming to the sideline. As now they'll go, looks like Wildcat with Feeney. As Gourdet goes in motion. Feeney with a power set. Now the ball is on the field. And it's fought for, and Lee Summit North has covered it up. Broncos have it. They're signaling they have it. They're still fighting for it. Still no official signal. But it looks like they have covered it up. There it is, finally the signal, thanks. Broncos cover it up.
Wow.
That was Harrison that got on the loose ball after Feeney put it on the deck.
A little bit of an errant snap there to his right. Tried to secure it with just one arm. There you see, and you got 3 defensive players against 1 trying to get a fumble. Usually the 3 guys are going to win. That's Harrison there, number 3 for the Broncos with another big play.
Still waiting for the James Funk signal, and he finally gave it. Harrison was already celebrating with his teammates as he had recovered it, and now turnovers even at 2 apiece. And here's Chapman. Oh, what a wicked cut in the space area there as he is whipped down. Though, what a play by Masters, who's been the Lazarus man tonight. He's been on and off the field, but watch this nasty cut.
Plant that right foot, get downhill. Excellent job right there, but then the physicality of Masters to come and clean it up.
Yeah, it was Hawker that got faked out in space, but Masters out of nowhere limited that gain to 2 yards. You thought that was going to be a big-time run
after you make
initially.
that first guy miss. Good defensive play.
Under a minute to play in this exciting third quarter, and this is again Chapman kind of weaving his way, and he'll get about 4 yards, and that should be it for the third quarter. And you're going to want to come back for the fourth quarter in this one. City rivalry game, conference, district seeding on the line. And this ball game is a thriller. 28-22 Tigers at the end of 3. The game of the week is brought to you by Hy-Vee. Hy-Vee is proud to support Kansas City High School athletics. Fourth quarter, Danon. The money quarter. Here we go. Final regular season game. Broncos facing a third down, and they need 4. Here's Makhi Mitchell. And Makhi Mitchell gets some good blocking. First down and more. As he's down near the 27-yard line. He got 8 on the play. As we take a look at the Hy-Vee scoring by quarters, well, we said the Broncos second half team probably should have 12 at least there, as they had a touchdown wiped off by a running back who lost the ball as he crossed the line out of bounds, so they had a touchdown taken off. But we got a ball game here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, two teams battling it out. The heavyweight bout. Love it.
First and 10, Broncos. Mitchell dialing the end zone. Oh, and missing Mosey there, and like they weren't on the same page. 2 defenders back there. And like Masters was back there, also Hatfield. Just something didn't look right here.
Yeah, just to the top of the screen. He's running a go route, but it looked like he just tried to shake Hatfield a little bit too much instead of just running to a spot. Can't fool your quarterback that way. Quarterback and receiver has to be on the same page.
Second down and 10. Mitchell takes off. Mitchell breaks a tackle. And Mitchell is really starting to get into this game as far as a rusher.
Yeah.
And he's down to the 15-yard line. That's a first down run. Dangerous runner, Makhi Mitchell.
Yeah, doing a nice job with the blocking in front of him. Quinn Dooley with a nice seal block on the interior line. Seen a lot of bodies getting moved around. Marcel Reed, Trey Williams, all those guys getting it done.
First and 10 from the 15. Mitchell looking left, pumping, now in trouble, and gonna be sacked. They'll just blow it dead. Well, now they took him to the ground. Yes, the offensive line showing some frustration as their quarterback gets sacked on the play.
He's looking for Mosey at the top of the screen, wide.
He held the ball a little too long there, it looked like, and just was waiting for Mosey to break free. Never came to fruition, and Lee Summit gets the sack. Let's check in with Les.
Guys, it's interesting that this game is only a touchdown that separates them, because you have Lee Summit, who's had 4 penalties for 35 yards, but Lee Summit North, 10 penalties for 100 yards. It's amazing it's this close.
Chapman on a cutback. And he's able to get the sack yardage back and a little more as Hawker makes the stop. And now it's going to be third down and 9. Chapman again. Chapman. Oh, man, he got leveled after he crossed the 10-yard line. Player down for the Tigers. I think that was the player that delivered the hit. Or maybe it was Benassi. I don't know. McKinnon was there as well, but we got a player down. Yeah, it was Kinnon that is shaken up on the field. we're being told Benassi was the guy with the big hit.
Yeah, you see it at the top of the screen, just the cutback right here. But boom, legal hit with the left shoulder. Andrew Benassi comes up with the big-time third down stop, forcing a decision for head coach Jason Rogers and his Broncos offense. 4th down and 5 yards. Looks like they're gonna go for it here with the way their defense has played in the second half, Kevin. I don't have a problem with this decision. We need to get a touchdown on the board, down by 6 with just under 9.5 minutes left in this game.
Mason Kinnon walks off, the injured linebacker for the Tigers. 4th down and 5, down by 6 in the 4th quarter. Broncos will go. Tigers show blitz, and now the Tigers jumped into the neutral zone.
Wow. And because that ball is on the 10-yard line,
That's a first down.
you
First
get
and
the
goal.
full 5 yards. That's right.
Dead ball. Encroachment. Defense. First down.
So, were they really trying to go for it there? Maybe they were just trying to get them to jump, and they did. So, you know, you never know in those scenarios.
Yep.
They were able to go hard cadence, got the jump, got the first and goal,
That's
just
discipline.
inside the 5.
That's the discipline Coach Rogers talked about instilling in his team.
Chapman in trouble. Chapman going to be thrown for a lot. Benassi coming up again, number 12, the strong safety. The big hit, now the tackle for a loss.
Yeah, how about, look at the last second shift. As soon as the ball's handed off, there's Benassi right there. Head up, holds on, and then allows his teammates to come in and help clean up the noise. Xander McGuire also there, the linebacker. He and Benassi getting the job done.
2nd down and goal as they'll lose 2. Back to the 6-yard line. Looking for the tying touchdown. Mitchell gonna keep it himself. Mitchell goes down low and he'll get to the 2. 4 yards gain. Makai Mitchell.
They're going a safe route with their offense here.
Hawker made the saving tackle.
Short side of the field, just trying to pour downhill behind the big offensive lineman. No need to take any chances trying to throw the ball here, Kevin. Just try to keep the ball on the ground. It's obvious 4-down territory for the Broncos.
Give it off. Chapman into the end zone. Tie ball game. 28 apiece. Under 8 to play in regulation. Chapman with his 14th rushing touchdown of the year in the visiting side. Starting to love things as the Broncos, the second half team that they are, have tied the ball game after they trailed at halftime 28-16.
Excellent cutback there by Chapman.
Now this is for the lead, Danon.
Yes.
Kent with a PAT. Makai Mitchell the hold. And it's up and good. Broncos lead for the first time in this ball game at 29-28.
Excellent job of blocking. You can see at the point of attack, outstanding seal block there by Tyler Pate. And then Plant get back downhill for the score. Point after. Broncos coming alive in this second half. A whole different energy than we saw from them in the first half. 11 plays, 41 yards, 5 minutes, 4 seconds off the clock with the two-yard touchdown run by Chapman. Wow, what a turn of events here.
Well, that was right there in the scouting report.
Yeah.
If you play the Broncos, get ready. The third and fourth quarter, they're very good. They've been good all year. They're 8-0, number 3 in the State poll. They're good tonight. Just down the road as Hatfield will just get a touchback. And now the Tigers, can they find the offensive touch with Benny Palmer in their offense? Quarterback Lehman,
Yeah, we're seeing
Hatfield.
Kevin, we're
Quinn.
seeing each sideline. The energy on the sideline of the Broncos is distinctly different than what we're seeing from the Tigers. Tigers trying to figure things out, but it's pretty solemn on their sideline. The Broncos, the energy is real here at Herzog Stadium.
Hatfield back in. We saw him maybe cramping up or having some issues, but he is back at the left hip of Lehman from the 20-yard line. Here is Hatfield. And a quick 5 up the middle before he's taken down there. That was Green finalizing the stop, the linebacker for the Broncos. Still not moving. He's a little ginger out there. I mean, he's like gingerly walking. I don't think he's had a lot of work to.
Yeah, playing both sides of the ball, had the big gains in the passing game.
Interception.
Interception as well. Might be experiencing a little fatigue, a little cramping like you mentioned.
Quick pass to the outside, Feeney the catch. And he is pulled out of bounds. Now the fans are grumbling about a horse collar tackle there on the sidelines. I don't see any flags there on the sideline, but we're hearing a lot of grumbling on the home. Let's see here. Yep, that is a horse collar.
Yeah, that's the definition of horse collar. Officials missed that one.
Yep. You grab the back of the shoulder. And Feeney looks at the official saying, where's the call? It's third down, less than a yard. And they'll run it, and Hatfield's blown up. Tackle for a loss. And this defensive line is doing a job, but this is Hines, a linebacker that blitzed in here and made the stop. And
Well, they sold out. Sold out for this play. You see 10 of the defensive players for the Broncos in the mix, right inside the box, attacking the line of scrimmage. Penetration there by Chase Pearsall. Jaden Hines comes up with the stop, a big stop for the Broncos.
Punt away on a fourth down by Feeney, and it's touchdown near the 37-yard line. It's a 40-yard punt, no return. Broncos get it back, and their fans are loving it. This second half has been about the Broncos, and we've seen the 2 turnovers by Lee Summit. And remember, they had a touchdown taken off the board on a player fumbling the ball after he crossed the goal line out of bounds, Chapman. So this second half dominated by the visitors. Now they lead by 1 point. What's on the line? Conference title. #1 seed in your district. And city pride, city bragging rights for the Lee Summit North Broncos. Makai Mitchell been huge running the football in the second half. Makai gonna keep it, and only a gain of a couple.
It looked like that was a broken play there. It looked like Mitchell wanted to hand the ball off to Chapman, just missed him. Instead of rolling the dice, kept it and tried to get as much as he can. Now, here's a decision, because if you're the Broncos only up by 1 point. The Tigers haven't been able to really stop your run game. They're selling out for the run, lining up 10 guys in the box, believing this guy named Isaiah Mosey wide open on the outside, one-on-one coverage, might take a chance at throwing the ball down the field if they're not going to give him any safety help.
Now they've got trips to the left with Mosey over there, and now we get a timeout. Broncos take the timeout.
It looks like to be some discussion. Looks like head coach Jason Rogers didn't want to take that timeout, but felt like it was necessary. 2nd down and 8. You want to make sure all your guys are on the same page, but you also stop the clock. So that's got to be a little frustrating there with 5 minutes, 15 seconds left. They just ran a run play. Clock could have kept moving in this 4th quarter, just up by 1 point.
Final regular season game, playing for the Suburban Gold Crown. If the Broncos win, they win the conference outright and have the #1 seed in their district. That means a lot of home games as far as the districts go and playoffs go. So it's big. 2 timeouts left for North. 2nd down and 8. And a delay of game penalty?
No, they're calling it.
Okay,
False
I'm
start.
sorry.
Dead ball. False start. Offense. Replay 2.
I didn't see anybody move, so I was.
Peculiar call there. Guys didn't get to the line of scrimmage.
So now you're backed up. 2nd down and 13. Double figures penalty night for the Broncos. They'll run it with Chapman. Chapman with a seam. Chapman stays inbounds. And now the play goes after, and we see Steele and a Broncos player near the fencing getting after one another, and the flag is thrown.
Looks like Deshaun Bennett got a little extra aggressive with his blocking off the field.
That was Steele being blocked. Bennett was the blocker.
Got to know where you are on the field. He blocked him clear onto the track behind the bench of the Broncos. We love the aggressive approach. You just got to be better at awareness on where you are on the field. This may draw another penalty against the Broncos. And just stop the clock again.
Dead ball. Personal foul. Offense.
It's got to be frustrating for Coach Rogers and his staff there. Got to be smarter than that. Watch the blocking right there.
Watch
He
11 on
re-engages.
8 right here. 11 on 8,
Yeah.
and he just takes him all the way across the track to the fence.
Yeah, you can't do that. Again, you like the mindset. You just got to be more aware. And again, Kevin, stop the clock. The clock is on your side. You're up by 1 point. You don't want to have the negative plays, but now you're just going to give not only possibly an opportunity for the Tigers to get the ball back, but they're going to get it with the most time that they could possibly have after this drop.
Now, 3rd down, you need 20. Mitchell scrambling, and Mitchell throwing, and incomplete. Yes, he missed his man there. Threw too tall. I see Mosey tapping his chest like my fault, but we got another flag down. See now Mitchell and
That
his
flag is
receiver
downfield.
there.
Defensive holding.
Ray was the target that time, but let's see what the call is. Got a penalty coming
Holding.
up on Lee Summit now.
Defense. Replay. 3rd down.
So a hold in the secondary on the Tigers secondary.
That's the difference in high school versus
It's not an automatic 1st down.
college and the pros. Not an automatic 1st down, so you'll live for another 3rd down opportunity. 3rd down and 9.
After 3rd down and 20, that seems more manageable. Now 3rd down and 9. Broncos get a reprieve. And they run it with Chapman. And Chapman, 2nd effort, not going to get the 1st down, but comes close.
Yes.
Very close to a point where they may go for it here.
That's a gutsy call to call the run play.
Yeah.
Trying to take some time off the clock.
But he went out of bounds. It'll be fourth down and about 1.5 yards, 2 yards.
And they're going to go for it here right at their own 45.5-yard line. Going to opt to try to get the first down, keep the clock running. The Lee Summit Tigers have all 3 of their timeouts. They may have to start using them if the Broncos get the first down.
Listen to the crowd. Fourth down, quarterback draw. Mekhi Mitchell, he's got it as he runs to the 50-yard line. Cool as a cucumber. Taking the snap, waiting for the blocking to process, and then darts up the field for a first down run. This guy is good.
Yes, he is. Now, they almost got caught with 12 men on the field. Some miscommunication, but the athleticism, agility by Mekhi Mitchell gets the job done.
He has been big in the second half with explosive plays and third down conversion runs.
We'll see some more run plays from the Broncos here.
It's beat Chapman. And here's Chapman spinning. And he'll get it down near the 43-yard line, a gain of about 7 on that first down run.
And the Tigers are not going to use their timeouts here again because you get that chunk of yardage on first down, leaves the door open for 2 more downs to get 4 yards. It's 2nd and 4 here. So you got to conserve your timeouts while the clock is draining down. The Broncos will likely snap this ball with the inside 5 seconds on the play clock.
Second down and 4. This is the sophomore Thompson. Spinorama and Kennan, who's back in the ball game, makes the stop for Lee Summit, the linebacker. So good to see him back in as Thompson gets some totes. They like this sophomore. They think he's one of their future stars, elite speed, already getting college looks. Hard to find because he's not the biggest young man in the world. He's only 5'8" out there.
You got to believe that the Tigers will use one of their timeouts after this down.
Third down and 3, Chapman. And he's got it. First down inside the 40-yard. Whoa, the spot. They're moving it back. So he did not get it. Boy, Chapman. Oh, all right. Well, I thought Chapman was inside the 40-yard line with his body and the ball, and they've marked it all the way back short.
Yeah, watch the end of this run here. Oh, maybe his knee touched.
Yeah, knee went down.
He touched down before he got his body past the first down marker. It's a good job by the officials on the spot as we have a player down on the field, but it is another decision situation, big decision for, as you see, head coach Jason Rogers. 4th down, less than 1 yard. 2 minutes, 30 seconds left in this game. This is huge here. You get the first down, you force Lee Summit to start using their timeouts. If you don't, you give them really good field position for them to possibly drive to field goal range and kick a winning field goal.
Kennan, frustrated, has to leave again. See him just visibly upset that he's got to go off again with the trainer. Teammates console him as we have 4th down and 1 after the spot at the 39.5. They got about a half yard to get. And now they'll run it with Mosey and get the first down. And players again being pulled apart. It is a first down for the Broncos.
I will say that we mentioned about the bevy of penalties against the Broncos in the first half. They've been relatively clean in the second half. They learned from some of their errors and mistakes in the first half outside of the extra blocking on the sideline.
Blocking on the track play.
Yeah, on the track play. Outside of that, been relatively clean. That's a sign of maturity in itself to be able to go into halftime and make those adjustments.
Now can they manage the clock? Here's Chapman. And Chapman thrown down, but not after gaining some 8 yards as they continue to run the ball and run the clock. And now we'll get a timeout, Lee Summit.
And this is the aspect of the game that head coach Todd Miller was concerned about, Kevin. The bigger bodies of the Lee Summit North Broncos in these type of situations, when you know they're going to run the ball, they need to get downhill. They just have bigger bodies up front that are moving some of the smaller bodies of the Lee Summit Tigers. They just don't have an answer to stop the run game. You get chunks of yardage, 5, 6, 7 yards a clip on first down in this circumstance, makes it tough to overcome.
Final regular season game on the Missouri side. 8-0 Broncos taking on the 7-1 Tigers. City rivalry game, conference district ramifications, and it's lived up to the hype. Now here comes the Broncos with quarterback Makai Mitchell facing a second down and short. Here's Chapman again. Chapman with space. Chapman will have it inside the 15, down near the 12-yard line, 19 yards, first down. That
Now,
might have...
here's the thing that you might want to take into consideration. Allow them to score a touchdown. You're down by 1 point. They score a touchdown. They kick an extra point. Now you're down by 8, but you at least get the ball back. Not sure if they have the players on the field understand that, but wouldn't be a bad play.
17 yards. They spot it back to the 14, and you don't want to run out of bounds if you're a running back. So Chapman, somebody needs to get in his ear, maybe get in the huddle and just mention what Danon mentioned about you want the clock running. You don't.
Clock is on your side. Again,
no gain on that last run.
And it's tough to coach up in that situation because you've taught all year long. You're talking about high school kids. Hey, everything that we've taught you about stopping people from scoring, we want you to score now. Let them score. You get the ball back with just over a minute left. It could be a possibility.
Handing off, Chapman to the outside. Chapman tripped up on the play by Hatfield, and he is gaining 6 on the play. As we get a timeout for Lee Summit.
This might be, with this timeout call, this might be where you make that decision. But at the same time, if you're head coach Jason Rogers for the Broncos, you might have a Jerick McKinnon situation in the Super Bowl versus the Philadelphia Eagles, where just slide at the 1-yard line, stay in bounds, and secure a win. Don't roll the dice to put points on the board.
So the Tigers led at 28-16 at halftime. Broncos, the second half team that they are, now lead at 29-28, trying to go 9-0 in the regular season, win the conference outright, get the #1 seed in their district. Facing 3rd down and 5. Lee Summit down to their final timeout. Mitchell cuts it up. Mitchell into the end zone. Touchdown. 8-yard touchdown. I saw a flag go up. Did I? In the back of the end zone?
It looks like a flag maybe after the play.
Yep.
taunting.
Touchdown is good. After the play, taunting, offense.
8-yard TD run for Makai Mitchell.
This is not a bad thing for the Tigers here. It's great for the Broncos. They get to extend the lead. They're not in jeopardy of losing by a fluke play and a last-second field goal. So it's good on their side, put points on the board, great. But it's not a bad thing for the Tigers here, Kevin, because now, with just over a minute left, they will have an opportunity to possibly tie this ball game. This extra point is key for the Broncos.
It would make it an 8-point lead. Noah Kent trying to get point number 36. And he drives it through, up and good. And it's 36-28.
And another flag down on the field, may be taunting again by the Broncos.
Well, the reaction from the Broncos, this is a penalty on the Tigers this time.
The kick was good. After the kick, unsportsmanlike defense. Since we have two offsetting unsportsmanlike, we'll kick from the regular, they'll offset, kick from the 30.
So they'll just wave the penalties off as we take a look at the 8-yard rushing touchdown. Makai Mitchell, great blocking left side.
And just student body left, everybody moving, offensive line getting out in space, lead blocker Chapman, and then the cutback ability by Makai Mitchell for the score. We've seen some great effort by the Tigers in this game. I'm going to go out on a limb and say they wanted him to score there. It didn't seem like there were bodies flying around on that touchdown run, Kevin, to the extent that we've seen them effort-wise in this game. Again, 1 minute, 6 seconds left. They're going to kick this ball into the end zone. Tigers got 80 yards to go to possibly tie this game.
Logan Houchin, the run-up. And it'll be a touchback, so, yep. 80 yards, you need a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. And you got a minute and some change left. You have not scored a point in the second half. You're Lee Summit. It's been all Broncos in the second half.
The big plays that they made in the first half, they got to tap back into that. We mentioned about Preston Hatfield. Maybe looked like he was a little hampered in his legs in the second half. Got to dig deep here in this final drive.
20-0 in the second half, Broncos. Lehman, empty set. Throwing to the sideline, Feeney the catch, and they'll run out. First down, gain of 12 yards.
Good, smart play by Lehman. Just take what the defense gives you. Offensively, you have everything on your side. You know exactly what you have to accomplish. You know it can't be about getting in field goal range. It has to be about getting 8 points on the board somehow, some way.
First and 10, Pearsall coming up from behind, hits the quarterback as he throws. Pass nearly intercepted at midfield, but it falls incomplete. Boy, Lehman had Pearsall, yeah.
Now he has to come off the field for one play. So your backup quarterback has to go on the field in this circumstance for one play. Lee Summit does have one timeout, so they can opt to call a timeout here, and he can go back on the field without having to lose the play. But they're going to lean on their backup for this one play with 53.9 seconds left.
Christian Dunn, sophomore. I thought they might go with Feeney in the Wildcat, but they're going to go with the thrower in the sophomore. And Don gonna throw it down the field and incomplete on the sideline as we're looking for Peyton Hatfield. A lot of Broncos in the area, and the sophomore will check out, and back comes Lehman.
3rd down and 10 here. A little bit of a prevent defense from the Broncos, as they're going to opt to call a timeout to make sure their defense is all on point here with 49.2 seconds left.
So they look at the play calling chart for Benny Palmer over there. We saw the hook and ladder play in the first half. Is it time for some gadgetry?
Yeah, you may have to dig deep into the playbook here, because the way the defense for the Broncos has been playing this second half, I don't know if your conventional play is going to work against them, especially if they bring the linebackers up like Chase Pearsall with the speed that he displays. Bring him up on the line of scrimmage to rush the quarterback. Lehman is not going to have much time in the backfield.
Well, normally the hook and ladder play, this is the time of the game you use that type of play. We saw it in the first half, and it was successful with the touchdown to Preston Hatfield. There's Lehman, the turn and throw, ball deflected, and on the rebound, did Robinson scoop it? No, it hit the turf. So JoJo Robinson.
And it was gonna be the hook and ladder was set up. Preston Hatfield was trailing right there.
Yeah, you're right, good call, good eyes.
And a good call by the officials there. That ball clearly touches the turf. 4th down, Tigers.
Must convert 4th down.
And they run it again.
Pass incomplete, and Lee Summit North behind a strong second half is going to win the Suburban Gold Conference outright. They're going to have the #1 seed and a big advantage getting to play games at home in the playoffs. It's looking a little scary at halftime, 28-16, but the scouting report said this is a strong second half team, and the Broncos believed and outscored Lee Summit 20-0 in the second half, and they're going to end the regular season 9-0.
What a comeback, what a display of grit by Jason Rogers and his Lee Summit North Broncos. 20 unanswered points in this second half. Incredible effort by one of the top teams in the state.
Mitchell will take a knee. And he's talking to James Funk. Does he need to snap it one more time? But the Broncos behind that second half mojo that they have. I mean, I've talked to several coaches. This team in the second half, not only one of the best in the city, maybe even the best in the state.
Yeah.
They come back. Coach Rogers celebrates the win, 9-0. Conference champions of 2024 in the Suburban Gold. They go undefeated, and they have the #1 seed in their district as they come from behind and win it on the road, 36-28. Hy-Vee postgame right after this. Well, if you came to this ball game as a final regular season game and you paid for a ticket, you got your money's worth here, Danon.
Yes,
this was an exciting game, tale of two halves, and the Broncos just too strong in the second half.
Yeah, they were just too much for the Tigers, especially in the second half. Now, I have to give credit to Coach Miller and his Tigers in the first half. They came out and threw some haymakers, opened up the playbook, opened up the scoreboard, had a significant lead going into halftime with all the momentum on their side, Kevin, and yet head coach Jason Rogers figured out a way to tap into the psyche, the discipline, and the playmaking ability of his Broncos to the tune of 20 unanswered points in the second half. Amazing effort by the Broncos. Outstanding game between these two juggernauts.
And they finish the regular season undefeated. They win the conference, and they have the #1 seed in the districts. And we send it down to Les with the Broncos quarterback.
Thanks, guys. I'm with Broncos quarterback Makhi Mitchell. Makhi, first half, there were a couple turnovers, some penalties, but you shut them down the second half. What were your keys there on that turnaround?
It was just coming back together as a team. First half, we started clashing heads, and it happened so many times back with other teams. So we said we had to get together, and then we just put our sights on the win. That's all it was.
You know, you're listed as quarterback, but you're also running back. You're running the ball almost half the time. You got a good arm. You're passing the ball. You seem like you got a well-balanced attack. What was the key to continue to move the ball in the second half?
So we just knew that we had to get the run game established. We all know when you get the run game established, you win the game. So we gave the ball to Quade Chapman. Quade Chapman, he started off, and then coach was like, I got to give it to you. And he gave it to Ike. So we just had to run it. And then I'm just saying, I'm like one of the best drill threats in the state, and I believe that with all my heart.
Well, now you're 9-0, man. You're heading into the playoffs with a perfect record. Any keys, any thoughts on going into the postseason?
Just keeping our eyes on God and keeping our eyes on the next team, and not taking them for just a slight pushover team. We got to attack everybody like they want to be state champion.
Awesome, Makhi. Good luck. Congratulations, man. Way to go. Enjoy this. Go see you. Up to you guys.
All right, thanks, Les. Thanks, Makhi. What a strong second half. Broncos, dangerous team in the playoffs.
Yep.
As we want to say thanks to all the folks here at Lee Summit. Kit Anderson is their AD. Mike McGurk of North. Thanks to the coaches, Coach Miller and Coach Rogers. Our producer, Joe Novacek. For Dana Hughes, Les Norman, our entire Spectrum News crew, Kevin White saying so long from the Herzog Stadium. Our final, once again, a thriller. Comeback in the second half by Lee Summit North, 36-28, as we say goodnight from Lee Summit and happy Halloween 2024.